Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1 to hear important instructions.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
All right. It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. All right. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? We good? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Wow. What up? How y'all doing? Man. Today, y'all. Today. So what's up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube? What's going on Twitch? What's up, Johnsons? How's the Wolfpack? What is happening? Yeah. Crazy, Johnson. Crazy times, Johnson. Brighten it up just a little bit. Try that. All right, so yeah. So it's Tuesday, and it's weird because we had a holiday yesterday. Phone lines are going to be open tonight or this morning. Had a little drama around this joint today. I tell you, man, always something. Let's see who's out here, man. We got people out there. We got people running in the chat. What's up? There we go. I see my Tim Black Wolfpack in the house. Thank you, Tim Black's Wolfpack. Give it up for my Wolfpack on YouTube. Give it up for my Wolfpack on YouTube. All my Johnsons and folks who support this show on Patreon and Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys for holding it down. Coming back around. Not leaving town. Didn't go out for a loaf of bread and not come back. Thank you, guys. That's what's up. The Mean Green Machine. Good up for the Mean Green Machine. There you go. and my moderators who help try to keep the peace in the comments section. Gotta have those folks. What up? Welcome. My people, my people, my people. Yeah, man, it feels good to see you guys too. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. We gotta talk. We have to talk, guys. I guess we could do it with what's going on. You guys know what Monday and Tuesday, yesterday and today. Well, it's crazy. It's already Wednesday, right? So President Biden on Tuesday traveled to Tulsa, right? You know about this, right? So I'm going to be honest with you guys 100%. I don't have no faith in us getting this shit together. I have no faith whatsoever that black people ever going to get a fair shake in this country. It's just not going to happen. And you know what? It's not even all Joe Biden's fault. See, we scapegoat individuals because out of frustration. We want it to be about the president. And you know, if you're going to pick somebody to blame, he's a good person to blame because this fake democracy makes people think that guy, can do something. He can't do something, but he can't do everything, but he can do some things. So this guy goes down to Tulsa and he talks. Shit, I talk. I talk. You and I, we both talk. I have no faith in this at all, guys. No faith at all that anything is ever going to change. I mean, I'm going to play a little bit of his speech just so that to say I did my due diligence, because, your journalistic integrity, your journalistic rigor, you have to play a little bit of that stuff. But I'm just keeping it 100 with you guys, man, because I see no reason to sugarcoat this shit, man. It is what it is. I mean, you don't actually believe that. I mean, guys, this is how bad it is. This whole Tulsa conversation, I want to know how many people just learned about Tulsa the last couple of days. Real talk. I don't know if I can say a show of hands, but I just want to know. I want to know. I mean, because it's history. It's not black history, it's American history. Black people live in America, so we are Americans, right? And then what my conservative friends say, they always say that. They love saying, we're Americans, we're Americans. Don't call me black, I'm American. Okay, why wasn't Tulsa race riots a part of American history? Why when nearly 300 black people were lynched, murdered, for doing nothing and running successful businesses in their own town? Why is that not common knowledge? That's supposed to be common knowledge, y'all. Folks, it's never going to be fixed. Look at this. This is your country. This is my country. They approximate 300 people were killed. Black people were killed. Here was the news the next day. 2 whites dead in race riot. They didn't even count us as human. This wasn't 1754. This wasn't 1862. It's 1921. 100 years ago today. And you didn't even know about it. Some of you went to school and went to respectable schools or whatever. I can tell you one thing, my mama knew about it. My mom and my dad knew about it because they told me about it when I was a kid. They told me about it when I was a kid because it's part of the reason why black people feel like they do about this country. because they know about this type of shit. They know that white people got mad and burnt down a town, killed women, men, babies. Not a person went to jail for it. Displaced 10,000 residents, lost their homes, their jobs, their businesses, everything they owned, the ones that survived, and fled. Gone. I have no faith at all. No faith at all in this country. Doing right by black people as long as, at least, and look, I don't want to put this on my kids, but it ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna live long enough to see it. And I love my kids, man. I don't think they'll see it either. And I'm a positive-minded person. I believe you can be as tall as that wall and play basketball. But America ain't gonna never do right by black people. Never. It's not built to do that. It doesn't want to do that. I'm gonna tell you, man. I want you to know. I want you to understand that this is serious business, guys. We are the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom in America. And a lot of Americans have accepted that's your role, to be the bottom. And they believe that when we complain about it, it's because we don't want to work hard. When we complain about it, it's because we're lawless. When we complain about it, we're just complainers. They don't even care about this. In fact, there's a conversation now, you shouldn't even teach this. Because they want to believe as bad off as black people have it in this country, that if anybody has to feel uncomfortable about how bad black people have, nobody wants to even think about why. Unless the why blames us. Like women, when they get raped or something, the R word or whatever. What were you wearing? Why'd you go there? Why were you out with him? You know? But they did that to a whole group of people. All people. For generation upon generation upon generation. So, like, as we look at this thing, as we listen to Joe Biden talk, I just want you to know, this ain't just Joe Biden. Hell, at least he went to Tulsa. Obama didn't even go. Clinton loved black people. He didn't even go. Remember? Playing the sax. See, this is the thing, guys. This is why I say, I'm very hesitant. I'm very, very hesitant to criticize black folks for their condition in this country because I know where it came from. There are people that tell me, man, Tim, we can't even talk about this stuff because talking about this type of stuff, man, talking about this shit don't do nothing but make people mad and divide us. So they don't care that we're on the bottom and that our lives are truncated, that we die sooner, we die from more diseases, we live less fruitful lives, that our women die giving childbirth, that we have more debt, we're incarcerated for same crimes much longer, we're more likely to be put to death even for committing the same crimes. I could just rack up statistic after statistic, and there are people that would say that's divisive to even discuss that stuff, and those people call themselves leftists or progressives. Because they're smart enough to know they can't make millions of dollars in their audience if they were able to speak. And that, look, I'm being charitable when I say that. When I say there are people that call themselves progressive who don't give a shit about this show I'm doing, who did a show today, didn't even discuss this shit, there you go. There they go. You think I want to talk about Tulsa? Do you really think I want to talk about Tulsa? I don't want to. It's an obligation to talk about Tulsa. But as long as only black people feel like they're obligated to talk about Tulsa, we'll never talk about Tulsa. Not really. As long as people feel like, hey, white and black alike on the progressive end of the spectrum, they call themselves, feel like they don't want to mess up their money. And that, like I said, that's being charitable. Because that says it's self-preservation, and the country's so racist and so bigoted and so screwed up that they feel like they can't conquer that, so they just don't want to get involved because it's so detrimental because the country's so bad. It's like back in Once Upon a Time, people wouldn't, integrate because the backlash was so severe. Because things could happen to you. White people got killed too for socializing with black people, dating black folks. So I'm being charitable when I say that. There's some people who won't talk about this type of stuff or deal with these type of issues because they really don't give a damn, Johnson. It's charitable to say that they don't do it because they don't want to lose something. Because we're all human beings and we all work hard for what we have. Some of them just don't give a damn. There are black people who call themselves progressive who said, Tim, you shouldn't talk about no race stuff. That's not why those people listen to you. I'm a black man. How could I not talk about race stuff? I'm black. This is my existence. I'm a black man married to a black woman with black kids, with black parents from black neighborhoods and went to predominantly black schools. How could I not talk? How could I not come from a standpoint of being a black man? But those same people tell me, don't even talk about these black issues, man. These white folks don't want to hear that stuff. That was their advice to me. And then when I said, you're not really black, people got mad. They thought I was talking about someone's skin tone. They didn't know why I said that. They didn't care to find out. But they could see when these people use their blackness when it's advantageous to them. When it's advantageous, they black. They're not black today. They're black when it's time to get some donations, though. Or they black when they want to get a GoFundMe going. Or they're black when it benefits their business. But they're not black when it's like this, man. Like, I don't want to talk about Tulsa. Who wants to talk about 300 people being killed? At least 300 people. Who wants to talk about some shit like that? I'm not licensed to discuss this stuff. But if we can somehow kind of see a through line through our history, right? To where we are now, people kind of understand why we are where we are when they can like put those things together. Because I believe not everyone who's a jackass is a jackass on purpose. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like some people are jackasses, but they don't mean to be and they're not intending to be. They just don't know anything. So if they're never educated and you don't connect the dots, give context, then how could they do better? How could they, and if I don't do that, if I don't share that information, and I'm one of the only, I'm one of those channels that has black folks, white folks, Latino folks, Asian folks, Native American folks, all these different people listening to it. Because come on, keep it real, man. I know it's some of you guys who may listen to, diverse channels or whatever, but do they talk like this? I know the folks who do, and I've seen their audiences. So if it's my role to kind of be able to have multiple people, different backgrounds, checking something out, I feel like the onus is on me to make these conversations happen. Because Lord knows a lot of other mofos is playing it safe as possible. You want to mess up an algorithm? Try talking about George Floyd for 12 nights in a row. You want to mess up an algorithm. So anyway, guys, this Tulsa situation that took place, just remember, as bad as this is, it's one day. It's one day. The amount of barbaric treatment to black folks in America lasted hundreds of years. How long would it take for you to get the message that your life doesn't matter in this country? I don't know, hear that one of your cousins, someone in your family got killed by a railroad track, or cops beat your uncle to death. I don't know, or a neighbor child went missing, was found lynched. I mean, what would it take for you to be like, hey, America being black is dangerous in America? Like, it doesn't take I just want people to keep it in context that this day, as horrific as it is, as traumatic as it is, as a big of a blemish as it is on America, it's just another Tuesday or Wednesday. Shit went down all the time. If the newspapers, look, here's the thing. If the newspapers treated this event, their reporting on this event was 2 white people were killed in a race riot, when we're talking about helicopters and planes dropped bombs on a town, leveled 30 blocks. The newspapers the next day printed 2 white guys were killed in a race riot. Without a blink, Johnson. Without blinking a fucking eye. They printed that, yo. Now, if you're a white person living in, I don't know, somewhere else, New York or Delaware or Florida, you weren't there to see it. You don't know what happened. You might even wrongly be thinking, hey, what these black people doing killing these 2 white guys? Probably a couple of these white boys was drunk when they was dropping bombs and crashed the plane or something. I don't know how these 2 particular white guys were killed. They killed approximately 300 black folks. And this is how they reported it. So, as bad as that is, just know that a newspaper or the media that will report that as the other way around, just imagine what they did when women turned up missing. When they dragged a man out of a prison and lynched him. Or when they beat up some kids for eyeballing them. I mean, just imagine, like, you can do whatever you want to do to these people. And that this is America. This was not done just by some hoodlums. This is done by state sanction. Like, the cops, they flew planes, yo. This is not just a couple of good old boys operating outside of the law. Get what I'm saying? Anyway, so Joe Biden, he wants to talk about it today. And I'm just tired of people, we cannot run from reality. To succeed in this country as a black man and a black woman, you have to run from reality, or at least shut up about it. Some people have turned this into a hustle. And even though there are some black folks who have turned this into a hustle, and yeah, I'm not going to talk about the Democrats right now. But even though there's some black people I feel who have turned this into sort of a hustle, they're the least of it. Like, they're the least, and that's, that's a hard statement to make, right? But I gotta say that. Some have. But that's low-hanging fruit. The entire country's turned this into a hustle. The government, founding fathers, institutions have turned this into a hustle. All those programs that help black people, but not really help black people, people make money off that every day. See, when we call out individuals for systemic problems, it's kind of bogus. I'm not saying it's wrong to do, but I'm saying at least be aware that there's way bigger fish to fry than one individual who made a couple of bucks off a speech. That person didn't create this system. That person did not bomb a city. I'm not saying I agree at all with what they do. But there got to be at least a measurable amount of anger directed towards the institutions that created the situation you're in and who perpetrated. Because no individual, be they Al Sharpton or whoever they be, is responsible. If they were gone tomorrow, this shit would keep going. That's all I'm saying. If they straightened up and flew right tomorrow, none of this would change. This would still keep going on, and there would still be mamas, black women dying 3 times the rate doing childbirth than white women. There'd still be black men being sentenced to death for the same crimes as white men, while white men get life in prison. There would still be all these things. Whether that person gave a BLM speech or not. Oops, sorry. Oops. Look, I'm not trying to make light of Tulsa at all. I'm doing the opposite. But I want to make sure people know it's not about this one day. It's not about this one massacre. It's about all the people that are affected. All the people that this... All the people this impacted, who heard about it, who changed their idea about what was possible for them in this country, and what it physically took from those people and their descendants. And their descendants who may have inherited those businesses. And what that could have meant to those families. We talk about 300 folks dead. We talk about 30 blocks of real estate gone. We're talking about all these businesses flattened. Just imagine the amount of wealth. And then we're talking about a huge impact from that one day. But remember, very quietly, without burning down anything, without murdering 300 people in one fell swoop, America was systemically depriving black people of ownership, right? Systemically. Through the years, just doing the same shit without all the fanfare, without all the hoopla, without the dynamite sticks. So, yeah, and yeah, like I said, man, it's not a good feeling to discuss this type of information. It's not, I get to make people feel bad. Now, don't feel bad as a human being, as an individual. Feel bad that your country, that America's America, like, if you just found out about this week because P. Diddy put it on Instagram, that's a damn shame, but you didn't put yourself through school. I mean, you didn't teach yourself American history. The teachers taught you. And if you can't just blame the teachers. Who controls the curriculum? And forget that, even as horrible as it was, why come it can't be a winning story at the end that says, but then this horrible thing happened in 1921. The most horrible thing happened. These black people lost their businesses, their lives, the wealth that their family had generated, even in the Jim Crow era. As hard as it was, they were able to generate something. And these people took this away from these folks and their ancestors or their future generations. Took it from them. But then in 1952, President Woodrow, I don't know, FDR came in and he did. It's not just the horrific sagas that took place. It's no happy ending at the end of it. I mean, it's bad as shit for somebody to do whatever to you, to do you wrong, but then there'd be no book into it where they make it right. That's the real travesty. No, it's all a travesty. Let me take that back. It's all a travesty. But there is no excuse for the enlightened ones of us not to make it right. And America continues not only not to make it right, but to punish me for talking about it. So-called progressives tell me don't talk about it because you could get bigger numbers. And they get bigged up. And so-called progressives are saying, oh, Palestine. Are they talking about this shit? Fuck no. And then they're browbeating me on a... Recently, I was browbeaten on a live stream. I haven't done any with any progressive colleagues because they say I don't work well with others. No, I just got a problem with fucking hypocrites. Because you want me to talk about Julian Assange. You want me to talk about Palestine. Did you talk about Tulsa? Hell no. Hell no, you didn't. And that's okay because your audience don't give a shit. You want me to talk about one guy ad nauseum. But you won't talk about Tulsa where 300 people lost their lives. 30 blocks of black-owned businesses burnt to the ground. You won't even discuss it with your audience. But you'll bring me on your live stream and tell me I don't play well with others. We should all work together. We should. Why should we work together when you don't give a fuck about black people? I'm trying to understand how that makes sense. How does that make sense? Why should we work together? And I don't mean the token retweet. I don't mean your bullshit retweets of my comment to someone else. You want to kind of see, we got some people playing politician, man. You ain't fooling me with that bullshit. You're not fooling me. See, this is what I learned, folks. I learned no matter how good I am at seeing it your way, you never see it my way. And not talking to my Wolfpack, I'm talking to generally. No matter how good I am at seeing things from a white perspective, those white folks will never see it from a black perspective. Some of them, or many of them, will not see it from a black perspective. Because I've had to grow up in this country. To survive in this country, I had to see things through the eyes of white people. But white people haven't had to see things through the eyes of black folks. So as horrible, once again, as horrible as Tulsa is, that's not even the worst part. That even though Joe Biden went to Tulsa, Oklahoma today to have a conversation, to talk about what no other president's ever done. It took how many presidents since 1921? Not a single one of them even felt it made any sense to even address this shit. And it took Jim Crow Joe. That's how bad we are. Jim Crow Joe. Some say the architect of mass incarceration. He goes and shows him up by going to Tulsa. And I'm not saying he's going to do anything about it. He's not. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. And that's why when you see comedians and other people laugh like that, laugh at stuff that's not funny, it's because that's the only thing, that's the only way to deal with this shit. You have to laugh at things that aren't funny. Because if not, you become an angry person. And stress will kill you. Stress will take you out, Johnson. And that's one of the huge reasons why black people have such shorter lifespans. Stress. There is stress from being black. Isn't that, see, I just did it again. That's not funny. Is that funny? That's called the blues, Johnson. That's where it came from. Laughing at pain. Singing about the pain. Making a melody about the pain. There's nothing funny about it. But if all you do is get angry and yell and cry, well, that doesn't help anything. So it's just ironic as hell that Biden's the one that went and talked about it. And it's also doubly frustrating that there will be people that'll say, Well, Obama couldn't talk about it because he was the first black president. They would have crucified him. Well, dog, can I say this, please? What good is having your friend be the manager of McDonald's if you can't get you a cheeseburger? Hey, man, you the manager? You the manager? Yeah, man, I'm the manager. For real? Yeah, for real. Can I come through and get a cheeseburger? Nah, man, you can't do that. What I look like, man, I'm the manager. I can't get you no cheeseburgers. What? I liked it better when you were working the window. I like Obama better if he was working the window. At least then he could slide me a cheeseburger. Because the way you guys talk, when he's the manager, he can't give you no cheeseburger. That's how it sounds to me, man. That's why Zaddy had to get in there. Joe Biden and Zaddy has to go in there and give us some cheeseburgers. But he won't. Maybe some free water. Free cup of water. So I don't know if you notice this or not, but I get pissed about this stuff. Yeah, man, because it's the added shit to deal with, and there's nothing you can do about it. Except be a sellout. Ignore reality. Right? Focus on your own pockets. That meme of Dave Chappelle holding his money like this. That he got the Burger King crown on, he holding his money like this with the glasses on. That's what people do. Because they know they can't win. Joe Biden. I'm not even going to play his speech. All he said was, I'm really sorry you blacks got screwed over. But I'm great because I'm talking about it. And there's hope. There's hope that I'm even talking about it, you dumb black folks. Feel better, America, because I'm here to talk about it. And somehow, some way, I do something that does nothing materially to make lives better. But it'll make you feel better that I discussed it. You know, and now let's go out there and get them. You know? Kumbaya. Vote blue. That's it. The end. Members of the Congressional Black Caucus have asserted that not only do the three remaining survivors of the massacre deserve justice, but that what happened in Tulsa 100 years ago is a perfect example of why the discussion of federal reparations needs to move forward. Tepid. I remember that. You didn't defend Susan Sarandon briskly enough. If I was talking, I would have said this to defend her, name her. I would defend her like this. You know how that looks, dog? I would have defended her like King Kong. Dumb motherfucker. No, this is tepid. This. The perfect example of why the discussion. Yeah, I'm so pissed. America has destroyed, raped, killed, massacred black people. It has shortened our lifespans, kept us unfulfilled, not giving us our opportunity to access peace, pursuit of happiness, as designated in the Constitution of the United States. It has abjected its duty. It has abdicated its responsibility to all American citizens, be it namely black folks. It has denied us our ability to live fruitful lives. It has strategically and systematically deprived us of livelihoods, investments, wealth. And you know what? Damn it. We need to have a discussion of how we need to make sure our discussion about reparations move forward. Yeah, you heard him. We need to make sure discussion is pushed forward. What kind of... Somebody comes in your house and smacks you in the mouth, kicks you on the groin, takes your good silverware, breaks your flat screen. They flee out, they leave. Bust the windows in your car, they leave. They're caught. Could you catch up to them? And you say, we need to have a conversation. Hey, man, I should shoot you, but well, we need to have a conversation about what we should do about what you just did. Yeah, we need to have a conversation about what we should do about what you just did. Now, any person with any spine at all would be like, yo, you're going to pay for my damn flat screen. You're going to fix my damn car. Yep. And here go one for hit me in the mouth when I wasn't looking. Pat, motherfucker. Yeah, pow. Any decent person. And as angry as I am with the CBC, it's America. They'll lose their damn... I guess I'm only assuming that they know they'll lose their damn seats. All of a sudden, a couple tapes will surface. Back in the 80s when they were having a party with some cocaine or something. Or, I don't know, man. I don't want to just out of hand say people aren't worth anything. I'm just saying, it's the 100-year anniversary of a massacre. No compensation for it. And the strongest statement is, this is a perfect example of why the discussion of federal reparations needs to move forward. Shit, back in 1960, what? Martin Luther King said, when we come to D.C., we coming to get our check. They can't even say that. We need to have a conversation about studying that reparations. The study needs to move forward. We need to have a conversation about having a conversation for a study. Tulsa was a horrible. Yeah, man. Horrible. So I don't know what to say about it, guys, other than, you know the deal. You know the deal. I'm telling you guys, this is systemic. It's ingrained, man. America's job is to keep us on the bottom, and it will do so at all costs. Everyone's in on it. Everyone is in on it. Everyone's in on it. Guys, don't for a second think this is just, it's bigger than just one person. It's bigger than one event. It's bigger than one president. It's the mode of operation of the country as an entity. I'm not saying individuals don't make up the entity, they do. But some of the actions are just reactions to what's already in place and not breaking the status quo. So some people, they just know this is going to end bad if I buck this system. And I know there are people going, you should buck the system. But in their own lives, they don't buck the system either. Tweeting don't count. Do you buck the system at your job? Some people do. Some people do, okay? What I'm saying, generally speaking, this problem persists because people don't buck the system, because the system that's already in place, it eats people. You know how I figured this out? That this was not just some crazy idea? That it wasn't a conspiracy theory? Do you know when I really figured out how bad it is? What's the word for it? Well, it opened my eyes to just how bad this is. Back in 2015, I did a video about a young lady on my little YouTube channel. Some people may know her. Her name was Shanisha Taylor. Now, Shanisha Taylor, she was a single mom. She was looking for a job. She had 2 kids. She said she couldn't afford a babysitter, but she had to get a job. She left the babies in the car when she went on the job interview. She came out from the interview, and the cops were at her car. The cops locked her up for leaving her kids in the car. And there was a mugshot of Shanisha Taylor crying, saying, I'm homeless. We live in my car. I left them at home. This is where I live. I'm trying to get us out this situation by getting a job. I wasn't in there long. I had to go in there to get a job. We are homeless. I said, well, damn it, there's much worse things people could do to their kids than try to get them a home and try to make money and park in front of a business and go inside to try to secure a job. And maybe this person needs more help than going to jail and breaking up his family and putting the kids in the system and the mother in jail. Maybe that's not a good idea. So what did I do? I made a video about that. I talked to my audience about it. And I directed people to send her money. I got my audience to send her money. We put out the video to get other people to support her GoFundMe because we felt this young black woman with these 2 children was a victim of the circumstances she was in, and she was doing her best to try to get out. And we didn't think it was right for her to go to jail and lose her kids because of that. There are abusive parents. And though this wasn't the optimal decision to make, maybe she couldn't find a babysitter. Maybe she needed to get this job, and maybe she made that decision. But to us, it wasn't made out of being heinous to those children. So, a month later, we started hearing stories about Shanisha Taylor about the GoFundMe money that she raised. I forget how much it was. It was over $100,000, something like that. I don't know how much. She raised some money. And then we heard that the charges were going to be dropped. But all she had to do, all the court wanted to do, is take 30,000 of the $100,000. I could be wrong about the amounts, but to take like 30% of the money and put it in the trust for the kids. She'd keep the rest, but put some of it in the trust for the kids. They would drop the charges, and it'd be over. Well, turns out Shanisha didn't want to put the money in the trust for the kids. She said she'll take the charge and deal with it in court. According to reports, she blew off interviews for job interviews that the local pastors and other organizations were giving her because people want to give her a job when they heard the story. And the kicker was she took a certain amount of the money and used it to fund her boyfriend's rap career. She wanted to make a demo. So after hearing all of this and after feeling personally taken advantage of because I went in front of my audience and said, get this money, get this sister some money, help this sister out. Did my best, Tim Black shit. supporting this sister, I felt taken advantage of. I felt like she used me. So I made a video that was very scathing. I mean, it was brutal. I called her a couple names, told her she was lazy, told her she was setting black people back, told her she was effed up, told her she should give all the money back. And we didn't give her that money for her to go to the club or whatever she did. We didn't give her that money to fund her boyfriend's rap album or rap career. We gave her that money to help her and her kids. I did that. The video went pretty viral. I moved on with life. About a couple weeks later, I got a phone call, an email, and a phone call from CBS Studios. CBS Studios and the people from the Dr. Phil show. And they wanted me to come on the show. They wanted me to come on the show with Shanisha Taylor and a couple other folks to discuss this whole thing. I thought it was a gag, y'all, because I had never been on TV. I said, wow, this is amazing. This is a big deal. Sure, I'll go. Sure, I'll come up there and keep it 100. Sure, I'll go up there. I was supposed to be the guy that basically did what I did in the video. That gives it to Shanisha Taylor, tells her how it is, keeps it 100, gives that real talk. So I go to California, and while I'm in California, I'm walking around California. I meet some guys in California. I'm filming this all, filming everything. I talked to some guys, some black guys in California that I met on Sunset Boulevard. I told them the story. And I said, what do you guys think I should do, man? I'm feeling a little weird about this. I feel like they want me to go on TV and destroy the sister, and I don't know if that's the right thing to do. They said, you're right, man. They want to use you to hurt her. By this time, this story was everywhere. Everyone was talking about how horrible she was. And it was like they wanted me to pile on and to be the blunt object used against this woman. And though she was wrong, I felt she was wrong what she did, I didn't think it was right for me to come on TV and to embarrass her. Yelling and screaming and shouting and putting her down. Well, anyway, the day of the show, I'm sitting there. It's being recorded. Dr. Phil's up there. He's pushing me, y'all. He's pushing me to rip Shanisha Taylor a new ass right there in front of everybody as they're recording this. Studio audience, everything. I'm in California for the first time. The only time. I'm in California. Hell, it was my first time on a plane. Free per diem, free room, Sunset Boulevard, everything. On the Dr. Phil show, got on my suit. They gave me makeup. They made me a shirt. They hooked me up. They made sure I looked right. I came out there, and my job was to destroy Shanisha Taylor. And I got Dr. Phil going, come on, Tim. That dog won't hunt, Tim. Come on, Mr. a.k.a. Tim Black. You say the things you said in the video. Come on, Tim. You were mad earlier. Tell her how you really feel. And I was nicer. I said, what you talking about, Shanisha? And I was going to back all the way off, but she said something even worse. Worse during the segment. That I had to correct her because she said, I was going to give my kids, I was going to put the money up for my kids, but what if my kids don't want to go to college? Who says they're going to want to go to college? They might not want to go to college, so I'm not going to put money up and save money for them. They don't want to go to college. Why should they do that? That's a waste. I was offended by that because what if the kids want to go to trade school? Anywhere they want to go is going to cost money. And I thought it was wrong for her to be on national TV making that statement. So even though I didn't turn to her, the last thing, at the end of the show, at the recording, I raised my hand because I didn't get a chance to speak that much. There were like 5 people talking at one time. Dr. Phil looked at me, he said, okay, Tim Black, you haven't talked that much. We'll let you have the last word. And I looked in the camera and I said, Shanisha Taylor, I don't agree with you today. I don't agree with what you said. But I want America to know that Shanisha Taylor, though she made bad decisions, she does not represent all black women. That there are black women at home and everywhere across this country who would put that money aside for their kids. They would do what's in the best interest of their kids. Shanisha Taylor does not represent them. And Dr. Phil looked at me. He looked at Shanisha Taylor. He said, I well said, Tim Black. All right, Tim Black, all right. All right, all right. And I went home. And I'm sitting on that plane and I knew that that was my opportunity. And I let it go. I didn't tear into her. And I knew if I would have tore into her, I may have got 2 minutes of fame. Like my 2 minutes of, 30 seconds of fame may have lasted for 5 minutes. At least I would have pissed some people off. And if I would have done that, my name would have circulated. It may have helped change my show and I may have got more opportunities. But I knew I wouldn't have felt good about it because I knew they were going to be using me to destroy this person, this single black mother who made a mistake. I felt like a sucker. I felt like maybe I should have went harder. Maybe I should have took my opportunity. But I did not feel good about what they did and what they set me up. But I did feel good about the way I flipped it on them. I got the last say, and I said something that was important, that did not really demean Shanisha Taylor, but it uplifted black women. And I said it on the Dr. Phil show. And when this airs, man, all these sisters are going to see it. They're going to hear about it. All the black community will see and hear, and they're going to have to agree. At least a lot of people will agree with me. And they will feel like that's a champion for the people right there. He didn't just beat up on that black woman on national TV to get some likes or whatever. He used that opportunity to stand up for all black women. I feel like I did the right thing. I feel like a grown-up. I feel like a responsible brother. A month later, that segment came out. And Dr. Phil cut my statement. He cut my statement out. He looked me in the face and said, you get the last word, Tim Black. And I said that great shit. The whole audience clapped when I said it. People in there clapped. Everyone clapped. Shanisha Taylor looked at me, looked like she had a tear in her eye. I was like, DMX or something. It was good. It was on point. It united us. It defended us. It uplifted us, but it also held us accountable. It's hard to do that. It's hard to thread the needle where you can lift people up, hold them accountable, but still love on them at the same time. And I did all of that on the fly with no script, with nobody helping me. No prompter, no teleprompter, no writers. By my damn self, knowing it would cost me an opportunity because I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do. And they still fucking cut it. And that's America, folks. That's what America does. So this ain't about one thing. It's not just about Tulsa. It's not just about Joe Biden. It's not about just one president or a few presidents. It's about what America runs on. It runs on dunking on black people. Always has, always will. So don't be confused. Don't be mystified. And that's why I hesitate to ever get excited about anything any politician says or does, because I know this system has a way of doing this to people. They don't want us to. I'd have been rewarded if I would have shit on her. I would have been rewarded. Hell, sometimes people fall into that with progressives too. They want you to take a bite out of someone. They want you to destroy them. And typically, they want me to do that to somebody black. They don't know why. They don't know. They don't know. It's implicit. They don't get it. They don't understand. There's implicit bias and an explicit bias. One is unconscious. It's not intentional. So, guys, it is what it is. But I want you to know that's when I discovered it for myself, where I lived it, and when I knew what the sacrifice was. And there's some people, think of the people that go on these programs who get these opportunities, and these people are doing what they're doing what they're being told to do without even it. Dr. Phil was bold. He told me, this is what I want you to do. You need to do this. This is why we brought you here, to destroy her. Because I can't do it, Tim Black. You got to do it. They'll say it's racist if you do it, Tim Black. If I do it, Tim Black, they'll say it's racist. But you can call it whatever you want. Get her, boy. And a lot of times people go right and they do it. For all the people who take that route, it ain't just them that's doing it. It's the network, it's the platform, it's their handlers, it's the system. And those who go the other way, the same deal. Because there's multiple platforms and multiple ways to manipulate people. It's not always tear down the blacks. It can be defend bullshit. Sometimes they want you to defend things that are indefensible, like Joe Biden's record or Kamala Harris's record. They don't want you to hold them accountable and demand more of them. They want you to defend it, and if you don't, they crucify you. It's a system. So when they're defending these people who deserve criticism, when they're defending them, it's not just them that we need to be mad at. It's the entire system, because it's bigger than just one individual. It's bigger than Simone Sanders campaigning for Bernie, then campaigning for Joe Biden. Why does the sister feel she had to do that? It's bigger than Candace Bigsby, even though I spent a lot of time on it, but it's bigger than her, right? She never platformed herself. She didn't send her around the country, did she? Somebody else sent her around the country. Somebody else paid for that. Someone else put her up. You know what I'm saying? So with that as well, Tulsa's not a one. It's bigger than just Tulsa, the Tulsa massacre, that one event. It's about the entire totality of the system, of America's history, of America's treatment of black folks from the rooter to the tutor, from the beginning to current. It's all of it. And if we don't wake up and realize that, and I don't know what we do to combat it, but if we don't wake up and realize that, then we got no shot at fixing it, because we're not looking at the totality of what we're dealing with. Because anytime it takes Jim Crow Joe to speak up, I gotta tell you something. All right, folks. I'm going to do something a little different today. If you haven't spoken on this show in a week, if you have not spoken on the show in a week, call in. We need some new callers to call into the Tim Black Show. We get some new callers. If you've spoken in the last 7 days on this show, I'm not going to bring you in. We got to bring some new callers to the show. We'll have to have some rules. I want to hear some new voices on this show, and if not, we won't have no phone calls. Can't do the same show every time. But I will go to phone calls now. I want to thank everybody that held in there for that. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Three 347, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? All right, 347, you're live.
Hello? Hello, Tim?
Yes. Who's
Hello?
this? Yes.
This is Clarence Diggs. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, Clarence.
Yeah, man, I'm calling because I really like what you did. You know, your show is great, man. The phone calls it's a beautiful thing. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, brother. Go right ahead, bro.
I just love your show, and what you're doing is a spectacular job. I know it's hard because a lot of people they don't want to talk about these issues, which I understand, and it's hard because black issues are very hard right now to talk about under the circumstances that Joe Biden went down there, and he did talk about it, but that's all. It's just talk. And as long as I remember in my lifetime, you know, my family's from the South, my father's from New Orleans, and he told me stories like that. I grew up knowing about those kind of stories that they never made the paper or anything like that. And I always wondered why black people have so much problems in America. They don't really bother anybody. Like, why it's just happening to them. And I think it's because they don't really have a backup. Like, we don't have anybody to stand up for us. Like, you know, like, as I see, like, they just gave the China. I love Asian. I love everybody, but I think they just gave the Asian people some monies, and because they got beat up a little bit. But I mean, they're killing black people for thousands. I mean, since we've been in this country, and reparations is not ever on the table. It's always a discussion. But with other people that don't even vote, Holly, like we did, we helped Joe Biden. They're able to get monies and things, tangibles for themselves. And it doesn't even take a discussion. You just give it to them. And I think it's because they have backup. Like the Asians have China that could probably speak up for them. The immigrants have Mexico. The other people have somebody that could probably, you know, stand up for them. But we don't have anybody. The people that should stand up for us is killing us here in America because this is our country. Black Americans, because I don't really like that term black anyway, but the black Americans, we don't have a country. This is our country. We don't have like a geographical, that's what the historian said, we don't have a geographical, historical point of reference, but down south. So the people that's supposed to be looking out for us, helping us to grow and be better people are killing us. I'm sorry, but that's the way it looks because this is our country. We have no place to go. We can't get deported. We can only get in prison. That's why there's so many black men in prison, because they can't send us anyplace else. This is our country. It's sad, but that's the fact of how I see it. Now, I could be wrong, because this is opinion. That's all I mean, this opinion. But like I said, I'm not going to talk long term, but I was going to tell you, man, I love your show. You're doing a great job. You talk about things that's difficult, and I know it's hard for people to really listen because it's a hard thing to listen about this race thing. It's really hard, man, because we all want to get along, but the facts is the facts, and that's what it is. I'm not trying to be funny. I want to get along. I want to love everybody. But that's another thing. When you look at the black politicians, which is a lot of them, we still don't have any representation. We don't. You look at the Black Caucus, for instance, right? Look at their chart on their website. It says they're helping everybody. They're for everybody. But you look at the Spanish caucus, they're there for the Spanish. You look at everybody's there for their people. But we don't have nobody there for us. Not even our caucuses. Not even our politicians. we're like an abusive relationship with nobody there to help us. And we're just getting whipped up anytime. We don't have a big brother or father that can come and say, leave her alone. We have no one. We have no one, man. And the Tulsa thing shows that. You can drop bombs on. The only time they dropped bombs in America was twice on black people.
Yep.
Once in Philadelphia and once in Tulsa, and I don't know God when else. I'm going to go with Tim because I don't want to rant. Like I said, I love everybody. I love your show. And I love you, Tim. You're a great man. You're doing a good job, man. I know it's hard, and I'm gonna try to send you as much as I could, man, to help you out, man, because you're a good dude. You need help, man. And I love you, Tim. Let's keep it up, man.
Thank you, Clarence, man. Thank you, brother. Give it up for Clarence, y'all. And Clarence, I hope you still listen, man. Biden didn't give Asians money, man. He didn't give Asians no money, man. But everything else, yeah. Everything else you're saying, yeah. And just the animosity that it creates when, as I pointed out before, man, we don't have an anti-lynching bill. You know how many black people were lynched in America? So it was a thing. It was a thing, Johnson. Some would say it's still a thing. And to that still not be on the books as against the law, its own thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep it moving, man. Thank you, Clarence, for the comments, my friend, and it's all good. We're gonna keep going. Thanks to you. 213. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 213.
Hello?
Yo, what's going on? Who's this?
Oh, is this me?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. This is John. I haven't called you in about 5 years, but I just called to say I love what you're doing. You're doing a great job. I'm an old man, so, not one of your typical young viewers, but Tim Black, you're the bomb, boy. Keep on doing what you're doing, and that's all I had to say.
Damn it, John. Thank you, John, for calling up, brother. There you go. That's one of the elders right there. I had an elder call me tonight. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother. That means a whole lot, man. $720. You're live, Freedom. You're live. What's your name? What's your
Whoa.
comment? Yo.
Oh, hey, Tim. This is Scholastic.
What's going on, brother?
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, Scholastic. Okay, my
All right,
brother.
man.
Yeah.
Well, you
okay.
just put the. Yeah, you put out the from Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, you just put out the call for people to call in that haven't called in a while, so I figured I better do it because I'm about to get back to work here, man. I've been out of work, since last March, and the bar I work at's opening up next week.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
I probably won't even be able to catch the live show anymore, after next week. So I figured I better call in and just say, first of all, thank you for what you do. Big shout out to all the Wolfpack, all the Johnsons, everybody with their, their very insightful calls and the comments, in the live chat, man. For the past year, I've been pretty much able to catch the show on a daily basis. And, man, y'all, it's real, man. I feel that Johnson family unity, man. And I appreciate it. And, there's a lot of people that know a lot of things and, and still, stay open-minded, open heart, curious. I didn't really have a lot I wanted to say at the moment, but I do want to talk a little bit about just, the kind of that systemic oppression that, we find ourselves under. I'm Mexican, Mexican American, not black, but, I've been under that, I don't know, the scrutiny of the law for my whole life. And, You know, I've definitely had, you know, police assault me, guns to my head for nothing, you know, so many times, more times than I can count. And, you know, I'm hella tired of it, man. I'm about to be 45. So, you know, that's a lifetime. I've been dealing with this since the 80s. And, you know, since I was old enough, you know, to just get harassed by the police, man, you know, walking to school type stuff. So I'm way over it, man. But I'm, you know, I've definitely been able to see, you know, that the systemic oppression that's built into the system, it's just a built-in thing, you know, and you can't attribute it, you know, we can't attribute it to like one factor or the other, you know, because all these things, it works in unison to maintain the power structure. You know, the police are just another tool of the elite to keep poor people, you know, where they want them, where they want us, you know, I don't know, man, it's hella frustrating, but yeah, we got to look at, you know, the duopoly, the way things are, you know, built as far as like electoral politics, the first past the post, you know, as opposed to, man, what is it? I forgot, man, but, you know, first past the post and the winner takes all as far as the election system. That always ensures that, you know, by doing the gerrymandering, they can always rig the vote and keep, you know, that minority thing. Same thing with the way the Senate works, where they can have, you know, the minority of the Senate can effectively control the majority of the Senate, you know, because it takes over 60 senators to get anything done. And if they don't get rid of that filibuster, then we can never get anything done. And then, you know, whoever's in charge, you know, when it's Democrats, they could be like, oh, they won't let us. The Republicans, mean old Republicans won't let us, or King Mansion won't let us. So it's just, you know, it's more than one thing, man. And, yeah, man, we definitely, but there's things we can do, and definitely looking into ending that qualified immunity. That's going to be huge. And, you know, you got to hold police accountable for, you know, it's got to hit them where it hurts, man. Stop making the public pay those, you know, millions of dollars that the police department gets sued for, and make that come out of the police pension. Absolutely. I'm going to let it go right there, Johnson. Peace to everybody, all Wolfpack. I love y'all, man. Tim, rock on, brother. You're the best.
Thank you, Stylistic, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, Stylistic. And look, Stylistic, when he was, I saw him in the comment section, right? He was like, where's the Nina interview, man? I was like, damn, I got to do right. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to do it. So I got up, and I finished the editings on that I put it out on Memorial Day, right? Put it out Monday, right? I put out the usually weekly update on the campaign. And then Stylistic was like, okay, this is dope, but where's that interview? So I had to put that out. And I just want you to know, man, I try to go through the comments, man, and my Wolfpack members, man, you guys in the green. Give it up for my Wolfpack members in green, y'all. You guys really keep me going. And I do try to pay attention. You know, it's a lot of work. Mrs. Black helps me out with some of this stuff, but it's a lot of work. But when you send advice or stories or whatever, I do try to respond to it. So I want you to know I don't respond to everything, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of it does help. So big yourself up on that. I appreciate it. To know that you care, what you know what you care about and what's going on. 209, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, hold on. Let me get you on speaker. Can you hear me, Tim?
I got you, yes.
Okay, sweet. Okay. This is Susan Gould. We've worked together for the past year, and you said for people to call in who haven't called in a while.
Uh-huh.
So I'm here to step up and speak to the Wolfpack and speak to you, because we, you know, that's our job, man. We got to get out there and we have to speak truth to power. So I'm trying to speak today on a couple of conversations I've had recently. It was today and yesterday with two white friends, okay, old long-term friends. One that lives now in Oklahoma, and he was talking about the Tulsa thing and how history history the teachers in the schools don't have time to, to talk about all the educational aspects of things that have happened in our past, and they just give us the soft approach. And that's what I was living, Tim. I mean, I'm an old white woman at this point, and I was quite patriotic. My son, who's now 25, he told me, Mom, you're not patriotic. You're a nationalist. You have this idea of the USA and what we've done to the world. You don't even see it. You don't see what we've done. And so we had an entire hour-long discussion at the table about, the things that we did to the Japanese Americans and putting them in the concentration camps, and the things that we did to the black people in Tulsa, and the things that we did to the Native Americans when freaking Christopher Columbus came, and nobody is taught that in school, okay? So I was talking to this white friend of mine, and I was like, hey, man, this is just wrong. He goes, well, U.S. history is so deep and dark and wide. How are we going to possibly teach everything? I'm like, hey, man, every teacher, every curriculum should include at least one day of the Holocaust. You know that 40% of the children today don't even know about the Holocaust? It's the stupidest shit ever. So, ignoring and softballing this teaching thing, and now the red states are trying to do it even more, is very disturbing. So, and then the second person I spoke to, this other very old white dude, and he was showing pictures of, pictures of homes, plantation houses over in the South that were getting restored, right? And I'm like, hey, man, burn that sucker down. Those are built from the blood, sweat, and tears of slaves, right? And he's like, oh, well, wait, it's all about the architecture, this fabulous architecture, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, then burn it down and build it again, because those boards that built that were built on the backs of black men, and while they're building that, the freaking slave owner was whipping them and also raping their wives while they're out there working. And oh man, that was freaking woo! That was a hardcore discussion, dude. So I'm just trying to do my part, and I won't stop.
Hey, well, Suzanne,
Won't stop, Tim Black.
I hear you. Well, thank you, Suzanne, for the comment. We appreciate you, and I want people to know that there is no perfect ally. But I tell you, to challenge people that you know, challenge people face to face to think differently, that takes spine and backbone. And we're not, I want us to focus more on the intention. It may not be exactly how we want it done. Like, I want you to say, hey, asshole, first of all, Black history is American history. You got time to teach us about Christopher Columbus. You got time to tell us about those Native Americans, the Trail of Tears. If you got time to talk about great inventions with the cotton gin and Eli, whatever his name was, well, you can talk about all the black inventors who had their rights, their intellectual property stolen because they didn't have rights. You can talk about Jim Crow, lynchings. If you got time to talk about the land and farming and all this other shit. So I want to thank Susan for sticking up and pushing back. Because most people don't. Most people do not, due to peer pressure. And also want to give it up to Susan for being honest and saying her son said, "Hey, you're a nationalist, Mom." And that takes humility to say, "Hey, I don't know it all. My son's calling me out like, Mom, you got to get with it. We're wrong about a lot of shit we've done." And to admit that that's a conversation and that her son is waking her up and pulling her collar on a couple things. That takes courage, and that speaks to your integrity. So I want to give it up for that. One more time. Because there's some people who won't mention their flaws. You know what I'm saying? They won't mention the things they've made mistakes on. 608, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? You're live. I heard you there for a second. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live. 608. Who's this?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize you were talking to me. That's awesome. My name is Patrick. I live in Madison, Wisconsin.
All right, brother.
I grew up here in a kind of a funny situation. My dad died when I was real young, and my mom didn't give it that well. So I went to live with a friend of hers, her friend Patty in Melvin. Melvin was a black man, and I grew up in this family for a while, and got to really know, I think, a world that, a lot of fucking white people just don't know. That they don't understand, they don't appreciate. And it's weird now, when I talk about it, because some people think like I'm trying to, qualify myself for some shit, but the reality is that, I have perspective, I have empathy. I was also, after living with that family, I was raised by a tribe of lesbians. So I got the whole gay community, thing, too. It was weird and enlightening, growing up, knowing and understanding things that cookie cutter people, that just kind of go in their day-to-day life, they don't understand or appreciate, like there's a whole world of people that exist. Okay, let me back up. As a street performer, right? People walk by me, and I have a sign that says, like the name of my podcast. I'm not going to announce it here because I'm not trying to do that. But it says like the name of it. I have business cards, but because I'm sitting on the ground, people associate me with garbage because they think, like that's where garbage goes. They let garbage fly off their tables onto the street, and garbage goes in the street. Garbage people. Doesn't matter that I'm wearing a $300 suit. Doesn't matter that I'm wearing $80 shoes and I have a $200 drum, and that I'm trying to drum up like drum up, subscribers for people to hear my story, to hear my music, to to know what my struggles have been and all that. But it's like they don't care to know, because all they see is what they want to see. So like when people walk by a black man on the street, they don't see a person a lot of times. They just see some sort of threat. In fact, just yesterday, I was down there on State Street in Madison, and this dude called the cops because a dude, he was having a good time. He ran and like jumped and like kind of popped himself off of a trash can, like he jumped and like popped his foot off it, and it was. I thought he was going to bust his head for a second, but he nailed it. But this dude called the police because he thought that was a threatening thing. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? How is that in any way a threat to you, dude? I don't know. This country should be ashamed of itself in many ways. And we need to teach people about this stuff, because if we can't confront the fact that this country was built on the blood and back of people that were not seen as people, like, how can we move forward? It just, breaks my heart sometimes. But I try to put love out there, and I appreciate all that you do, Jim. And, keep up the good work, man.
All right. Thank you, Patrick, from Madison, Wisconsin. Y'all give it up. Thanks for calling in, Patrick. And I got your point, man. I kind of lost it at the end, but I got your point in the beginning, big time. You were raised by a black guy or lived in the home of a black man. I'm sure you have a perspective on black folks that most people don't have. Then it says you were raised with some LGBT people. So once again, you have a perspective up close. These people are not stereotypes. They're individuals, and you understand the culture of the relationships or the environment, and that these people are people. And somebody else, some folks, they only know what they saw on TV or what they've heard about. You know what I'm saying? So you have a very unique perspective on life, man. I don't know about the clothes and the drums or something you were talking about, but but I think I get it. I think I get it. Keep sharing your perspective, bro. Keep sharing it. 310. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 310.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Tim, it's Smart Sister. What's going on?
I'm good, Smart Sister. Tonight we're trying to get new callers on the phone, so if you can hit me back Friday, that would be great.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go.
All right, now, sister. Thank you. Now,
I'll get off.
give it
All
up for
right.
Smart Sister, y'all. I appreciate it, y'all. 412. You're live, 412. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's going on, Tim Black? Big bro, what's happening? This is Steve from Pittsburgh, PA.
Steve from
You
Pittsburgh,
know what I mean?
man.
What's going on, big bro?
Man, what's happening, Steve? How you feeling?
I'm always, man, you know what? It feels weird to call the show, but, this is my first time. I'm usually listening right now. I'm going on my lunch break. So, but I wanted to just call up and say, look, big bro, I love what you do. I continue to support the show. It's awesome. I'm learning so much from you. Plus, I have my own ideas and things, and I totally agree with you. Both parties suck. Both parties suck. You need change, and hopefully, Miss Nina Turner will come through. You know what I mean? Because I'm also a supporter of her. So hopefully, things will get better, man. I'm hoping for the sake of my daughters and my son and your family. You know what I mean? But besides that, another show, big bro. I don't want to take up too much time. It's a really short call. But, yo, I'm so thankful to call this show. So thankful to have your show. Peace. One love, Wolfpack.
You got it, Steve, man. My man Steve from Pittsburgh, man. Give it up for Steve, y'all. That's what's up, man. Thanks for calling up, man. My man said he hasn't called up before. He felt like, hey, let me pick up the phone and call my brother Tim Black, man. I appreciate that because I want to expand and get new voices and let you know the door is open. You know what I'm saying? And I want things to change for our families too. For all the families out there. Everybody, I want everybody's life to improve. Right? I think if we lift black people off the bottom, it helps everyone. But I also want everyone's rights to be respected. I want everybody to have an opportunity to live their best life. What good is being the number one country, this richest country, the richest country? We're number one, we're rich, but people don't have health care. We're not number one in life expectancy. We're not number one in happiness. We're not number one in education. We're not number one in healthcare. What are we number one in? Being exploited by corporations. It's propaganda and BS when they say we're number one. We got more shows on Netflix than anyone else. But see, that's not a metric that you or I should give a damn about. So yes, we need to fight. We need to make noise. We need to wake more people up. My job is to be a thorn in the side of the establishment. My job is to push the envelope and inform as many people as I can before the worms get me. 530, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
The envelope and inform as many people as I can before the worms get me.
530, you're live.
530, you're live. What's your name? What's your name? The envelope and inform as many people as I can before the worms get me. 530, you're live. 530, you're live.
Hello. That person, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I like listening back to my own voice, but I'll come back to you, 530. I'll try. Let me go to 9940.
What's up, man? What's up?
What's up? Who's this?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up? Who's this?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Who is this?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you, bro. I can't hear you.
I hear you just fine.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. I can hear you. I can hear you. My bad. All right. All right. I took you out. I had you on speaker, then I cut you out. I wasn't paying attention. But I don't understand I have a question about this. Why are they celebrating this Tulsa thing like, I guess, 100 years after? That's the thing I don't understand. Like, I heard about Tulsa, but why are we celebrating it? Why are they want to celebrate it now? Like, all these years, like, even in 2000, I never seen them celebrate this. And you know, it's a big part of our history. It's just, I just don't understand why are they celebrating it right now. I just don't get it. They not giving us no reparations. They not helping the community out. I mean, what is this, another celebration or something? I mean, what's the use of it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What are we getting out of this? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, brother. Give it up for that call. Give it up for that call. That's a good question. That's a damn good question. And well, it says here that Biden unveiled a plan for racial equity. I'm looking to see exactly what it's going to do. I don't see exactly what he's supposed to do. What he's going to do. Oh, here we go. Biden on Tuesday announced plans to expand and target federal purchasing power to benefit more minority-owned businesses. First of all, minorities weren't killed in Tulsa. Black people were. See, it's just further bullshit, man. Further nonsense. They killed black people and destroyed black businesses. And Biden's response is, hey, we're going to help some minorities. This is what pits us against one another. How would Asians feel if the internment camps, the response to the internment camps was, we're going to help some minorities? I should say Japanese, because it was focused on Japanese, right? Yeah. World War II. It was backlash. What if they said, we're going to go help some Latinos? Sorry about what we did to you, Japanese Americans. Treating you like you were garbage, throwing you in jail, ruining your lives. We're going to go help some Latinos, make up for it. But for some reason, they try to make me sound divisive when I say it. Now, any Japanese person will be like, what the hell are you talking about? What does Latinos got to do with you putting me in internment camps, my parents in internment camps? You got some rights or some wrongs to make right with Latinos people, go do that. But that's their issue. Handle our issue. I don't think anybody would give the Japanese folks any grief at all. Be like, yeah, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. But when black people like Tim Black say, hey, why you talking about minorities when you're talking about Tulsa? There'll be people that say, that's divisive for me to do that. And that's why I have come to the conclusion that this problem that I thought existed only in conservative circles, only with certain folks who watch Fox News or Newsmax or whatever the hell, I found that problem exists within progressives as well. And that's why I'm not invited to the cool table. And that's why they've dogged me. And that's why I'm where I am with these folks. Because I realize they feel the same way. They just vocalize it different. They say, let's focus on class. Biden announced plans to expand and target federal purchasing power to benefit minority-owned businesses. Minority-owned businesses include women, Native Americans, Latinos, a list of people. And you don't find a problem with that. So there are people who are in the Democratic Party. Remember I told you that there's a lot of blame to go around. There are those that are going to be quiet and not say the obvious, which is what I'm saying. What the hell that got to do with everybody else? What does Tulsa have to do with minorities? When Joe Biden won the election, he got up there and he said, if it wasn't for the black folks getting out there and voting for me, I know I owe this to you, I owe this to you. And he didn't say minorities, he said black people. 90% of black people voted for Joe Biden. Not minorities. 90% of black people voted for him. Without those black votes, Trump would be in office. And not only that, on the day of acknowledging the hellish events that were dealt to those black people on this day in Tulsa, Oklahoma, he said, I'm gonna go help some minorities, y'all. His administration will submit in the coming days multiple rules that strengthen anti-discrimination housing measures rolled back during the Trump administration. It's not enough to say we're gonna help minorities. Anti-discrimination housing measures help black people, but it helps a lot of other people too. Why does everything that's supposed to help black people got to help everybody else? Why you just can't help the group that you caused the injury to. Why you just can't do that? Why do you have to lump everybody together? Because some people like us being on the bottom. They have no problem with us being on the bottom. Or either they're just so obtuse and so full of it. They act like they don't know that is illogical. So either they are bigoted assholes or totally ignorant. I mean, guys, if I burnt down your house and then I said, well, we're going to put new roads in your community, you'd be like, what the hell? Fix my damn house. You burnt down my house. Their houses are fine. Their houses are still standing. You're not going to fix my house? You're going to plant trees along the streets for everyone? That's nice. Do that too. But fix my damn house, dog. You burnt down my house. And the rest of the neighbors are going, you're being selfish because you want them to fix the house that they burnt down that's yours, when you should be worried about all of our flower beds. And I want people to think about that. Think about that. Think about how crazy that should sound. I run into your car. I total your car. And instead of saying, hey, here goes my insurance, no, I give you my insurance information, and the insurance company says, hey, sorry about what Mr. Black did to your car. See, this is what we're going to do. We're going to print out some T-shirts for everybody in your town saying everybody needs to drive safer. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to print up T-shirts and give everybody a $10 off coupon for some ice cream. Not only does that not fix your car, not only does it piss you off, but the kicker is all the rest of the people that got the coupon said, this is great. And you said, hey, my car's still totaled. How am I supposed to get to work? And they look at you and they say, there you go, worried about yourself again. That's what's wrong with you people. You always got your hand out wanting something. You know, I know there are people that love me on this show who some people love me, some people tolerate me begrudgingly. But don't get me confused with anybody else that call themselves this, because we ain't the same, Johnson. Don't get me confused, Johnson. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of them talk, they ain't sound like this today. And I want to give it up to everybody who called up to this show who know that shit, and that's why you called. And I want to give it up to everybody who watches this show who know that, and that's why you watch. Because it ain't just about me saying it, it's about creating a community of people who understand it, who get it, who don't run from it. And when they hear the real, they appreciate the real, even if it's not what they want to hear. Even if it'd be more fun to do jokes all day. Even if it'd be more fun to talk about other things. You are the Wolf Pack. You are Johnsons. Because you, us, the Tim Black Wolf Pack, all us Johnsons, we get it. And it's our job to educate more folks. Because what I'm talking about ain't rocket science, man. So when these folks are talking about these issues and they're not talking about them directly, when they're soft shoeing it, when they're bucking their eyes and shucking and jiving, when they're tap dancing for the man, when they're dancing around the show, when they're dancing around the truth, when they're soft selling it, when they're schmoozing, just know what time it is. I got a couple more people in the queue I want to go to. I have a 11111 number in the queue. You're live, 11111. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? Who's this?
Thank you for taking my call, sir, although I suspect you might not like what I have to say, but I'd like the opportunity to say it anyway.
Oh, you would, huh? You would like to hear what I have to. You would like to say what you like to say. Is that why you blocked your number, my good man? We don't do trolls on the show. So just know that.
No, sir, that's not the reason why. It automatically blocks.
Okay, so as long as you're not going to troll,
When
go
I
right
dial.
ahead. As long as you're not going to troll the show, go right ahead.
No, sir, I'm not a troll. I have legitimate comments to make. Now, look, I like history. In fact, I love history. There's a few things I like more than history. I got maybe 15 or 1,800 books about history, and I read them avidly. I think actual history is much more interesting than simplistic narratives, and I keep hearing these simplistic narratives all the time. For instance, one of your callers earlier mentioned and I'm paraphrasing.
Brother, don't call the show and talk about other callers. Go ahead and make your statement, brother. Let's not tear down my callers. Just make your statement that you want to make about this topic that I don't like.
Others say what we did to the Native Americans when Christopher Columbus got here. Well, Christopher Columbus didn't get here when the United States even existed, and he set foot in North America. So we didn't do anything to the Native Americans when Christopher Columbus got here, because we didn't exist. And then I hear the same sort of simplistic narratives about Tulsa. Now, Tulsa was a massacre. Innocent people were killed. There's no doubt about that. People are arguing about what the actual numbers are because there hasn't been sufficient archaeological evidence to indicate that up to 300 people died, but certainly it is confirmed that at least 39 people died. But what is not remarked upon, and that is borne out by the historical record, is the fact that it started as a pitched groups of armed people who had gone, and in this case, the black men had gone to the courthouse because they were concerned that a black man named Roland, a 19-year-old,
that's
was going to be
Joe
lynched
Biden.
by a mob of white people.
Everything that you're saying, brother, was in the speech today given by Joe Biden. We didn't even discuss that on the show, brother. Sir, I'm not gonna call you brother. I'm gonna call you sir. You know, just because America hadn't become America yet, the entity that was before, the entity become, Prince didn't have his name. He became the symbol, then he became Prince, but it's still the same guy. So anyway. I didn't play the speech, but before Joe Biden gave his speech, ladies and gentlemen, Wolfpack, there was a historical record that was made from a descendant of these people, of a survivor of the Tulsa massacre, that remarked about what happened about an individual. They were trying to stop a black man from being lynched in the jail. That has nothing at all to do. And this is the unfortunate situation when you have a phone line that's open, and we have people like this that want to call up, and they want to ruin the fucking show. It was a good night. Racism exists, folks. Jim Crow exists. He probably doesn't think it does. It is or does. Mass incarceration exists. All these things exist. He wants you to believe that private individuals dropped bombs on the city. Maybe he'll say it's Black Lives Matter that burnt down the black businesses in Tulsa, not the white side of town, which was the town. So for me to even give a shit about what he's talking about, the historical record should show that the white side of town was also leveled. But it wasn't. The black side of town was destroyed. The black residents fled Tulsa, not white residents. So who cares if we can't determine exactly? Because there were mass graves. They didn't bury people like human beings. They threw them in a big
90
ditch.
seconds.
They threw these people in a big-ass ditch. He doesn't want to tell you the reason why we don't know exactly how many people died. Some estimate 3, like the newspaper that said 2. They didn't even acknowledge that black people died. It said white people died. 2 white guys died. I showed you the article from the Tulsa newspaper. But we got Mr. Smarty Pants over here that wants to call up and point out, well,
60 seconds.
America wasn't America when America did what it did, because it wasn't America yet. And that Tulsa, whatever the hell. But as I pointed out, folks, he wants me to take the word of historians from this period of time who, whether it was 39 or 300, has no mention of any black people dying in Tulsa. Just 2 whites dead in a race riot. And it's not a race riot. It's not a race riot, folks. If one group of people are attacked by another group of people. That's called a massacre. I'm sorry to my people that watch the show that I had to get this guy to call up and ruin the ending of the show. It was a good show. Besides that part, it was a good show. We'll be back Thursday. And we will address another issue, another topic. I want to give it up for everybody that called in tonight. That's what I get for not taking regular calls. That's what I get for not taking regular calls. Let me go to, as I pointed out, someone said, Tim, it's not ruined. I got you, man. I just hate when you have a good night, because I wasn't sure how it would go. I gave a story from my own life that kind of shows why America's where it's at and why it's deliberate. It's deliberate as Dr. Phil saying, go get that kill-his black lady for me. Go get her, beat her up. It'll make you a star. Very deliberately, Then we had calls, and then I put the word out, we wanted new callers, and new callers called in, and then at the very end, the cherry on top is this guy, who ain't a part of the Wolf Pack. He's not a part of our community. But that's okay. You're right. Tim, the glass is not half empty, it's half full. Devon Kelly says, give it up for Devon Kelly for giving a donation to the show. Thank you, Devon Kelly. Appreciate you, Johnson. Bose Einstein came through and he says, I want to do stuff, but to senators vote. Biden said, I want to do stuff, but to senators vote Republican. But 2 senators vote Republican. Or he did, huh? But you said you were Mr. Dealmaker, Joe Biden. Chuck says, Tim, longtime listener, just wanted to thank you for tweeting at Kwame Brown. He's about to destroy establishment sports media. Glad you saw it, bro. Give it up for Chuck. Hey, fam. I support folks calling out the establishment and rocking the boat, standing up for themselves. But really what won me over with Kwame Brown was that we differ on some political stuff. But the fact that he brought on Devin George, and he had that focus be what Devin George is doing to create these wraparound services for folks in Minneapolis, I mean, that's amazing, man. And that he took his platform and offered it to Devin George to highlight what Devin George is doing. That's so positive and so constructive and helping lives. That right there said it all, because that's his actions. That's not him arguing with any notable celebrities. That is him using his platform to do something bigger than himself. And I respect the hell out of that. So that's where I come up on that. I'm not going to get into him going back and forth with certain people. But when you do something constructive like that, I have to respect that. That is huge. So that's what I love, man. And I like to emulate that myself by doing things that are bigger than us as individuals. You know what I mean? All right, folks. We also got Dustin Benz was in line to call, but as I had problems understanding the other people's perspective because of my background, I felt stupid and dropped out of line. It's all Dustin, man. No. Call in sometime, brother, and just say, speak your truth to power, brother, and just know that it's hey, brother, you don't have to be an expert caller, just maybe write down a couple of things you want to say and just say, hey, Tim, I'm a new caller, it's me, Dustin, and read off what you got to say and say, hey, man, thanks for having me call. And then next time, try it again and, what the hell, brother? Yeah, man, I used to call shows and, I've been doing this 10 years now, but I had to start somewhere. I wasn't like this 10 years ago, trust me. Nisi Moby, what does the lynching have to do with the deliberate destruction of black economics? I don't know. What does the lynching have to do with it? I don't know, Nisi. I'm not sure where that came from, but I agree that those are separate. Damn. Yeah, I don't think those two things are devastated. It had to be devastating to those families. Let me see what Gene's talking about. I see one of my commenters, Gene. Oh, Gene said keep it up. Thanks, Gene. I appreciate you. This thing cuts off the last comment. I always got to go fish for it. It's all good, guys. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. It's one of those shows that it tests you. It tests your, what they call it? It tests your backbone a little bit. It gets under your skin, you know what I'm saying? It's not a light situation, but we got to address tough topics on this show. We try to do it with passion and realness, keeping it 100 the whole time, and we try not to, we want to educate people. So I try to do it in a way that's still educational, that's accessible, so people can get it and understand it. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Real Tim Black. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. You can also find me on Instagram at Tim Black at Night. We'll be back with more dope stuff. You can always email us at clientcare@timblacktv.com. Hit us up, send your story ideas. We got a new member tonight. I don't know who that person was, but give it up for the new member. Give it up for my people on Twitch. Give it up for my people on Facebook. And of course, the mighty YouTube. I also want to give a big shout out to all my Patreons. Thank you for being a part of it, guys. Go to jointimblack.com to become a member on the Patreon. In every video I put out, I put a link on Patreon. Because some people don't keep these crazy hours. They got to have a place they could go and get the links to the shows. So that's it, guys. We got a lot going on. We got a new show we're going to be launching soon. I'm excited about it because I want to put out more content. So we got a new show coming up, and we're working on that. Give it up for that. All right. That's it, y'all. I love y'all. Mad love to the Wolfpack crew. Mad love to all you Johnsons. I'll see you on the next one. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Wolfpack. Yeah, baby. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.